Hey guys, Ian here from Mid-America Prep. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Now, I make this video for several reasons, but last night there was a large mass shooting in Las Vegas, Nevada at a Jason Aldean concert. An individual was shooting from the 32nd floor of a hotel with multiple shooting locations, and he was shooting into the crowd of concert goers, injuring several hundred and killing close to around 50 people. Now, at the time of this video being shot, and the time it's published, I'm sure that number will have jumped a little bit once people that were injured kind of, their stability kind of decreases or whatever, and they're going to be a statistic soon. But please bear with me with my verbiage and my statistics. This video isn't necessarily about that shooting, but what stems from that shooting, and that is being able to save lives in the event of a mass shooting. Are you able to do so? Now, this last weekend, I went to Kansas City, Missouri, and I spent my time in some venues that had several thousand people in attendance, like 20,000 people. Where the 20,000 of us, we were basically sitting ducks. They did have a good security measure put in place. They had security guards, they had law enforcement available, they had entrances and exits and stuff. They were all being guarded, and all of which I was watching very closely. I knew my exits, I knew my entrances as where people were coming and going. I watched the security guards' motions, I watched the law enforcement's motions. But this is not to say that I am being insecure and I'm not there to soak in life. Watching the entrances and exits and watching people is what I do. It's just second nature to me. Even in this video, you'll watch me look at my doors probably every 30 seconds or so, just because I'm always watching where people could enter the facility in which I am sitting in. And so this is the point of this video is, how prepared are you to save a life in the event of a mass shooting? Now, in my case, this last weekend, going to Kansas City is a very large city compared to where I live right now. Or where I grew up, in fact. Where I grew up, if you were carrying a gun, everybody knew you were carrying a gun, because if you weren't carrying a gun in my hometown, you were kind of odd. So no crime was really happening other than meth. But the point here is, I don't go to large cities or anywhere about 20 miles further than my home defenseless. I'm always taking my Glock 19 and or my shield here, but when I travel much further than 20 miles, and especially to cities like Kansas City or Wichita or any large city, I'm always taking an extra couple handguns, extra magazines, and definitely a defensive rifle, whether it be my AR-15 or my AK-47. This last weekend, I decided to take my AR-15. That way I could put it into my luggage and carry it into my room safely. I also took my plate carrier with extra magazines and extra ammo for both 9mm and .223. Now, the main reason why I take extra firearms when I travel is because, especially with all of the political tension that's been going on since Trump has been president, there have been not that there weren't before, but there's been an increase of protests and riots in cities, and I didn't want to be going to Kansas City, Missouri or Kansas City, Kansas and have a riot break out in front of me that I couldn't defend myself against, because I'm not putting up with that kind of stuff. So for sure, I had the means to protect myself, my wife, and friends that were with me. Not that my friends didn't have ways to protect themselves, but it's kind of vice versa. I watch their six, they watch mine. So I always have a means to defend myself, and I always have a means to save myself and save my friends' lives, and that's talking about medical care. Now, this is the kit that I have behind my passenger seat headrest. It's just, I don't know what brand it is, Condor, I think, Condor med kit. On the outside is a rat's tourniquet. Now, I know there's people that have yays and nays about them, but it's what I have on here. I also have a cat tourniquet in the Jeep, and I also normally carry a individual first aid kit on myself, a little blowout kit. But I'm going to be upgrading that soon to something that's going to go around my ankle or my waist, and I just want to make sure I have the increased ability to save a life in the event of a mass shooting. Now, this is the problem that I have with most people who are armchair warriors on Facebook or just YouTube and the like, is that so many people want to talk about all the firearms that they carry and and whatnot, but they don't talk about the ability that they have to carry, to save a life with first aid. If I'm going to be carrying a firearm to defend life, I want to have the ability to save life too. Now, that may be but the perpetrator's life. I may want to take them down and then save their life afterwards, so I can prosecute and everything. But police officers, they carry a firearm to defend their life, not your life. Most, in general, have the ability to render aid to the people that they take down or they are saving lives of. And so, me as a civilian, I want to be able to do the same thing, and I have taken the measures to do so, both on my person and the vehicle. So many people don't, and they don't think about that. They think that just a simple firearm, this is the Smith & Wesson Shield with 8 rounds, is going to be able to defend their life. They don't think about extra magazines, or a backup firearm with magazines, or extra ammo to reload those magazines, or in the case of a protest or a mass shooting, not that you may or may not be able to do it in the case of like the Vegas incident, a long rifle. There's just some things that people need to be thinking about and not wanting to sit as a sitting duck on a pond in a crowd of people. One of the best things you can do is, open your eyes, look around, make sure you know where your entrances and exits are, have the means to secure your firearms or to use them, have the means to render first aid, and have the means to protect those around you in general. That could be simply being covered and risking your own life. Because there are so many people out there who want to talk crap, but they're so worried about saving their own life that they completely forget about saving the lives of others. And I'm not about that. As much as I want to live, if there were shots being fired in an arena or a large facility or open facility as Vegas, I would be jumping on my wife to protect her life. And if my wife wasn't there, I'd be jumping on somebody, my friends, or people that I don't know, to protect their life and getting them out of there. Which I know I saw some people doing. But how many of those people had the ability to save lives right away until law enforcement showed up? Or paramedics, firefighters, and that kind of people? Not very many. So, just some stuff to think about. Having the ability to save lives with first aid is extremely important. Not everybody does it, but everybody should. Keep calm and carry on, guys. Stay safe. See you later.